Oh, welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in for this interview. I'm very happy and delighted and honored today to be able to have a friend, a lovely, beautiful soul, Danielle Wicks, sorry. Danielle now lives a thriving life running a website called Cage Free Kids, and she's an amazing mother of 3 children under 5 years old. I take my hat off to that because I had three little kids and they weren't under 5. But anyhow, so Danielle today lives an amazing, thriving life, living her passions, and I think she'll be such an inspiration to us all because her life journey, she has brought herself through some healing and some a journey to come to a place where she has now empowered herself and is living a life in helping others. So before too much ado, let's meet Danielle. Hi, Danny. How are you?
Hi, Patsy. How are you going?
Good. Thanks for giving us your time. I really appreciate it because I know we're all very busy, especially a mother like you as well. Um, and I think, yeah, we might just start with, if you'd be kind enough to share with us a little bit about, as you probably know or may not know, a lot of the people that will be tuning into this will be people who are participants in my journey program. It's a self-healing program where people, they're usually very courageous, well, not usually, actually, all of them, otherwise they wouldn't be doing a program like that, are very courageous, diligent people who have decided to take on the responsibility for their own health. And this is health of, mind and body. So whatever imbalances that they've come to in life, they've decided that they want to take the effort and the responsibility to heal themselves. And healing themselves doesn't mean just, doing it all on their own. They still might assign the help of specialists and people who are experts in the field, but it's basically taking that responsibility to look at themselves and heal from within, from the core of themselves, from every level, from the mental, emotional, physical, and energetic and spiritual. Yeah. So you, I know, Danielle, you've been through quite a journey yourself in life, just reading about your past and everything. And so I was wondering if you could share with us a little bit about your journey and how it's gotten you to where you are today, the thriving, healthy, vibrant person that you are today.
Awesome. Well, it started 6 years ago, or nearly 7 years ago now, and I was 3 months out from getting married, and I got diagnosed with stomach cancer. And I'd had stomach issues from probably the age of 12, and here I am, very early 30s. I think I was just 30, and I got diagnosed with stomach cancer, and 3 months out from getting married was a bit of a shock. And the only modern medicine told me that the only way that I could get through this was chemo and radiation, and because it was in my stomach, that would mean no babies. So for me, that just was my worst nightmare and just didn't sound like something that I was going to participate in. And I did whatever I could to find out if there is another way out there to heal myself, and went on a crazy mad journey of discovery, I guess, self-discovery, as much as discovering what else is out there that can help me aid my body in healing itself. And basically overhauled everything in my life, my diet, my day-to-day, just taking things easier, less stress. I came from a corporate, like I worked for the federal government, so came from a very corporate, high stress environment, and just decided that I needed to take care of myself, and that just wasn't doing that for me. So
You totally refused chemo and radio, or did you go
totally
through it?
refused. No,
Totally.
no, totally
Oh,
refused. Yeah.
okay.
Um, it just didn't feel like a good option to me. And because they told me that I couldn't have kids if I'd gone down that path, it just was too bad, you know.
Look at you now, hey.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, so I mean, it's a long story, but basically overhauled everything, and my whole life is, you know, so different to what it was back then. I was, the party girl, and now not so much. And a
You
year
gave
on
away your
from,
corporate job too, I suppose, did you? You
yes,
had to give that
definitely.
away? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I went into self-employment, which is still stressful, but on a whole different level, and I had more control. So, um, and then a year later, I conceived my eldest daughter, and I think that was, it was a big shock for me because I was told I wasn't able to have kids if I'd gone down the other path. So,
And
um,
and it was a
yeah,
fully healthy
it just,
pregnancy, wasn't it?
yeah, totally healthy pregnancy. Yeah, no complications. Wasn't the best birth because I did lax. I was a bit slack towards the end and didn't do some things that I probably should have. But then with my second pregnancy, totally different. Everything about it I was very conscious of, and again, my third pregnancy even more so. I think you get practice as you go along, and my kids are very healthy. Thriving kids, so I
Yeah,
couldn't
I've
ask for
seen
anything more.
pictures of them. They're beautiful. Um, just getting back a little bit, if you don't mind, to your journey with cancer. So you were in total remission then before you fell pregnant? You got yourself into totally cancer-free as such. I
Yeah,
shouldn't say total remission, that's the medical terminology, but
yeah.
cancer-free before you fell pregnant the first time?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I haven't been tested again. I just know in my body how I feel, and I know how I felt. And I'd never actually, from the age of 12 to 30, I'd never actually felt healthy. And I didn't know that I wasn't feeling healthy until I got healthy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I just felt like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't explain it in it just felt like my life had started and I'd
Sure.
come alive, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
an
no,
amazing feeling.
I totally understand what you're trying to say. I know some people might not understand, but and I know I haven't had the experience with cancer before, but I totally understand there is no need for a machine or a blood test to tell us that we're healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think, are you familiar with Andreas Maritz's book, Cancer is Not a Disease? And I'm sure there's no.
That one.
Oh, you love that one, I think.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure I
all
would.
your perspective, all our kind of perspective. But
Yeah.
yeah, totally. And I mean, I have very certain views about cancer that some people think are quite controversial as well. That I think it's generally too overdiagnosed, and also, yeah, especially with the treatments, that one's another whole new thing that we can spend an hour talking about. But
For
so
sure.
yeah, basically the point is I do understand what you mean. You don't need an official medical clearance to tell you that you're healthy. Look
Yeah.
at you. Yes, you're healthy, you're still here alive, and you're thriving. I mean, you can't have all that energy if you're sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah, yeah.
three small children definitely takes a lot of energy.
Okay, so yeah, no, that's fantastic. So if if I may ask you, what do you think, from your experience? I'm sure you've learned so much now through your own life experience like that. What is your opinion on the key to healing and inner growth, I suppose, but more importantly, the key to healing? What do you think is the key? I know nutrition is a big thing for you, and it is a big thing. What we put into our body matters. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, I've heard this saying a few times, and I don't think it's necessarily just nutrition because you could eat all the greens and all the healthy food you want, organic, whatever, but if you're not absorbing any of those nutrients, you might as well not be eating them. So, um, there's, what you put in is important, but what you're actually absorbing is even more important. So, um, gut health is absolute key. And to me, that's not just what you eat and not, not um, just the good bacteria. it's stress and all the other, I don't know if there's any other word for it, but head trash that a lot of us carry with us. I think that is massive. And until I worked on that, I didn't feel like I was on the healing journey. So I I did all the right things nutrition wise, but I was like, oh yeah, I don't need to do like the whole process of healing was I had to keep a diary every day and I had to say what my feelings were and I had to meditate and I was like, oh, that's not for me. That's other people can do that and I don't need to do that. I'll be fine. And I truly didn't feel like I was on a healing journey until I started really looking at myself and stress plays a big factor on us physically and mentally, of course, but I don't think a lot of us realize how much stress plays physically in our body and how much it represents our overall health. Um, and yeah, so even, for some people just being diagnosed with something, cancer or something else, that can be even more stress and even more stress on the body and can actually physically make them sicker. So to get rid of that and to heal yourself from the inside out, as opposed to just feeding a whole heap of nutrients into your body, I think that's probably more key than anything else.
That's so true. Yeah, thank you. It seems to be the key. I mean, it's the same as in my own healing journey as well. It's the key to true healing is from the core of yourself and on every level of you. Yeah, it's a mind, body, everything, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Um, yeah. And that point you brought up is very interesting and true with assimilation and absorption because I was the same as well. Going through a process of um, detoxifying everything, cleaning out your whole system because and replenishing to strengthen the liver and all those as well because yeah, you can put however good stuff like you said in, but if it's not being absorbed or assimilated because it's full of gunk, and yeah, that gunk comes from, like you said, food, other toxins that you've built up through life, but also toxins from your head, yeah, from emotional stress, from daily stress, yeah. So yeah, so basically your message, the key to healing is really managing your stress, but also healing from within, isn't it? Holistic, yeah. And in your journey, I mean, that kind of healing we know, as you know, I know, and a lot of people that do these kind of journeys, like my participants, it's not easy. It's yeah, you're bringing out a lot of stuff. You have to face a lot of stuff, face your fears, face stuff that you don't want to, like you said before, don't want to look at. And a lot of that too, some of the painful stuff you have to release, let go. So how did you find strength through working through all that? Did you have very supportive family, or did you find your own inner strength in some way?
Yeah, I'm really lucky because my husband is really supportive. Um, my wider family, as in my parents, my brothers, not so much. Natural healing for them was a whole heap of woo woo, and it just wasn't on their radar. It still isn't, even though I'm living proof that it's worked. Still, it's just not in in their reality, and and that's fine. Everyone's different, but um, yeah. So my husband amazing, but extended family not so much. So what I did was really because I needed to for my own strength. I didn't talk to my family about cancer. So my brothers in particular didn't actually know I had cancer. And I did that for a reason because I knew they'd be, oh, well, you have to have chemo and you have to have radiation and just really at me, and that wasn't going to do my mental health any good. And I just didn't need it, to be honest. And with my parents, they knew, but um, I didn't really take on board any of their stuff. So I just had to, I guess, draw on my own strength. And I've really always, probably before then, really counted on other people for my strength, and I kind of fed off other people's energy more than my own. And that was a really big realization for me. And it took me, not overnight for sure. It took me months and months to realize that, you know what, I can do this myself and I can draw on my own strength, which I apparently have within me. And I guess I got back to what I enjoy as well. So, just things like getting, like the beach for me has always been a big thing. I've always been really drawn to the ocean. So I just made sure that I did that on a daily basis. And that really helped me tap into myself and to really draw that strength from, I guess, within me. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, no, that's so true. Sometimes we sort of have to distance ourselves a little bit from the negativity that surrounds us, don't we? Or that we've somehow been ingrained and grown up with, to just, yeah, just while we're healing, and then be able to after that integrate it. But and your connection with nature. I mean, we do a lot of that work as well in our program, where you connect with the thing that really reaches into your soul. And a lot of people do connect with some element of nature. Oh, that's a lovely thing to share. Thank you. Um, and so basically, I know, yeah, we're quite busy ladies, and I won't carry on and on for too long. But how has all this journey come about to bring you to what you're doing now with cage-free kids? Is it because you want to give your kids something better than, or you just want to share all the knowledge? Because cage-free kids, for the listeners, it's all about supporting mothers, and especially new mothers with newborn babies and young babies, but also toddlers and babies, with parenting, but also with conscious eating. Yeah, mainly conscious parenting, I think it is, isn't it, Danielle? Yeah, and so, yeah, maybe tell us just a little bit about Cage Free Kids, and how it's led to this passion now for you as a mum.
Okay. Well, I guess having cancer myself and going on massive healing journey and all of that, I obviously over the last 6 to 7 years, I'm a real mad researcher. I won't take anyone's word for it, whether it fits in with my ideals or not. I have to work it out for myself. So I've literally spent the last 7 years studying health and wellness and both sides, both modern medicine and natural. I don't like to call it alternate. I like to call it natural therapies. And I think there's a place for both, but for me, I lean more towards the natural therapies. And um, I just wanted people to be a bit more conscious and a bit more aware of how modern life affects children and how it affects us, especially like some of the most vulnerable times in our life is when we first had a baby. Um, you've got this brand new human. You literally have no idea what to do with it, and it's totally reliant on you for absolutely everything. And modern life, or especially Western society, is very much you can manage, you can do it yourself, you'll be right kind of attitude, where a lot of other cultures, all the women come together and there's a community and they all help with the baby and all the other stuff that needs to get done. Whereas in our culture, it's you can manage all of it. You can manage the household, the cooking, the cleaning, and the baby and the feeding and the healing. Like you're still healing for months afterwards. And I just wanted mums to know there's another way, and it can actually be easy and it can be enjoyable. And, with my first baby, I had postnatal depression, and I have to say, I didn't enjoy the first probably 6 months of her life, if not more. And, that's devastating. And I don't want any mums to have to go through that. But, even nutrition, it doesn't have to be difficult. A lot of people think that healthy eating is difficult. And so I get that people are time poor. I'm time poor. And so, I wanted people to see that there's amazing, beautiful, healthy, and delicious recipes that kids will eat that take, 10 minutes to prepare. And, I'm currently filming a documentary at the moment, and that's all about how your health impacts your child's health from preconception right through, and then how children mimic the way we eat, the way we are with food, the way we are in life. You know, just like you, I look at my kids and I go, wow, am I really doing that? Like there's some habits that they have and they frustrate me. And then I look at them and go, wow, that's exactly me. So, um, you know, just I wanted people to understand that life can be easy, and a lot of times we complicate even healing with cancer, we complicate that, and it's really doesn't have to be complex. Life doesn't have to be as complicated. And so I created Cage Free Kids to just help, especially mums, and help them to understand that it can be easy.
That's such beautiful
And
words. Yep.
well,
Sorry,
yeah.
we're dropping off here. Sorry, go on. I interrupted.
Yeah, so I just wanted mums to understand that, you know, there's an easier way to do things, and you can be more conscious, and it doesn't have to be a lot of effort. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I think that's beautiful words, Danielle, because my next question to finish and wrap us up was actually going to be, what wisdom have you got to give everyone to take away with them? And I think you've just said it. Life is simple, and why complicate it? It's really, yeah, if you put in the effort and you make the time to do it, and like you said, it doesn't have to be time, and you're living proof of it. You're a mother of three under five. Who else can argue with that? So yeah, it's yeah, keep it simple, and you can do. You have the power to do it, don't you? And also what you were saying before, it really just impresses me. Lots of beautiful souls like yourself, and there's so many women, especially I'm seeing all the time now, coming through, bringing their journeys forward, and then the journeys have uh, come forth into an amazing passion that is now building into a business and is making difference in people's lives and teaching people. I can just see the future generation of kids from more conscious parenting. I mean, how different is their health and wellness, both mind and body, going to be? It's amazing. It's, yeah, fantastic. So on the other end of the scale, we have the world really growing. Some people can look at the negative side, getting worse and worse and worse. But there's also the other side, I think, that's getting more and more empowered and more self-sufficient. And yeah, we're getting really amazing, aren't we? So,
Yeah. And I think
so
getting more in touch with who we are as well, like as as individuals.
exactly. Yeah. Authentic self. I mean, that point as well kept coming up again and again with who you really are, not get lost in the system, isn't it?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but if you do have something a little bit more to add to that, a wisdom for people to take away, apart from what I thought I picked out from you just then, is there anything else you want to add to, what people can take away with them?
No, I think it's you summed up
You
my
did.
message quite clearly. So I think it doesn't have to be hard, and it sometimes feels like it is, but if you just if you can allow yourself to take a step back and just have a look at the big picture, you can see things a lot clearer, and life is not meant to be hard. Life is meant to be easy. So
That's
I think
beautiful.
that's it.
Yeah, beautiful, wise words. I think so. Yeah. And okay, so I'll just mention a little bit to everyone about Danielle's Cage Free Kids. The website will be printed down the bottom of the video. And if you're interested, please check out Danielle's work and her program. She's got a program just launched now, and lots of exciting documentaries coming soon as well. I can't wait to see them. I haven't seen them yet. Interviewing some great people. I think you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wish you all the best. Can't wait to see what else you keep creating, and especially your vibrant energy to keep going with this. I really love to hear this message of people healing themselves from cancer or whatever, because it's just so empowering. It just keeps showing that you can do it if you have the courage and the willpower to want to do it. Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks, Daniel. I really appreciate your time again
Thank
because
you,
I know
Patsy.
it's very precious. Yeah, and all the best. And we'll connect again another time. Okay, bye.